When you hear about them fast tracking vaccines, how does that make you feel?
Terrified, absolutely terrified. Circumventing the laboratory testing, the animal testing, put it straight into humans. And then you see in one of the trials, I think the 20% serious adverse reaction rate in the high dose group in a perfectly healthy individual, someone who was precisely chosen because they were in such good health, has a serious adverse reaction. And they say, great. And that's encouraging. And the stock market price of that company goes through the ceiling. And the truth is that is a massive adverse reaction rate in a population that's not even at risk from the disease, young, healthy person. I mean, this is bizarre.
Yeah, my father's about 75. He's in San Diego, and he's a, Caltech trained engineer. And I said, would you take a vaccine? And he has a little bit of knowledge of medicine, but he says, my problem is they're not testing it on 75-year-old men. He said, so how would I ever be certain that this is safe for me? And I just thought it was an interesting observation he made weeks ago. And this article I just read in the Times was talking about the whole fast tracking schedule. The company was like, yeah, we can get 60 million doses for the UK population. And they said, oh, as an aside, that could mean 600,000 problems if there's a 1%. And I just couldn't believe it was being printed and spoken about it so cavalierly, when it was just clearly a bad idea. And I've had scientists on here that say, you can't rush science. I mean, you don't rush science almost by definition. That's why we have these procedures. So I don't know. It's been strange to watch this from the other side now, but that's what the general public believes. And they're waiting for this shot so everything can go back to normal, at least with the current dialogue. And that's a little alarming.
I think the thing that's come about largely through programs like yours is that the number of people now asking questions is so much greater than it was before. You may not have an opinion on vaccines and autism, for example, or you may be not of the belief that it's necessary, or you may even have felt that it was perfectly reasonable to mandate vaccines for children. But suddenly you're confronted with this situation where they want me to get vaccinated. I'm going to be forced to get vaccinated, or I can't go back and assimilate into society again because, no, actually, that's not good enough. And then that causes you to think, well, maybe if it's not good enough for me and I'm worried about it, it's not good enough for children. Let's go back and look at this in more detail. And so there is a silver lining to this COVID-19 event, and that is it has awakened a lot of people, not everybody by any means, but a lot of people have said, hang on, like you said earlier, there's something wrong here. Something doesn't add up. Something doesn't make sense. And I'm going to look at this more closely. And the great thing about, again, the film is it comes at a time when this question is at the forefront of their minds and they want answers, and it provides many of those answers.